everybody. My name is Jeremy Ralston. I am the Workforce Development Account Executive with Launchpad. I just wanted to say, first off, thank you all for taking the time out today to come and join us. We're going to try to make this presentation, very informal and friendly, and most of all, quick, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are trying to hurry up and watch the rest of the game that's coming on at 5:30. So we definitely don't want to go over. So again, the focus of is today, we're really going to talk a lot about our two partners here, Los Angeles County and San Francisco, and we're just really going to talk about how they're using, CRM systems to really align their workforce development regions. So I'm going to start really just give you a quick 30-second overview about Launchpad. So we're located actually in Orange County, California, in Irvine, if you guys are familiar with that area. Launchpad, we are the leading provider of workforce development applications on the Salesforce platform. And we've really been in business doing this since about 2010, and we've partnered with over 60 different workforce development and economic development agencies across the nation. And this ranges everywhere from nonprofits, state level, well, a couple of small state level, and then a lot of local level partners as well, including WIBs, cities, counties, et cetera, et cetera. We are also Salesforce Government Cloud and Lightning certified, which means that we have Salesforce approval, and we have some of the top security measures that are in place to make sure that we keep everyone's private data private the way it should be, especially in the world where everybody's being hacked today. So we really take that seriously. And also, the company is also minority and woman owned. And the main mission of Launchpad has always really been to help state and local workforce agencies transform their communities and really make community development improvements through the use of cloud, social, and mobile technology. And this is just an example of some of our customer successes. So, this is just to give you an idea of some of the groups that we've worked with, through Los Angeles County Department of Education, San Francisco, who you're going to hear from today, the Wisconsin DWD, Business Source in LA, and the list just goes on. And now I also want to tell you guys a little bit about Salesforce if you're not familiar with Salesforce. So Salesforce is the #1 enterprise cloud computing CRM platform in the nation. We partner with them because not only do they provide a great platform to build upon, but we find that there's a lot of tools within Salesforce that we feel that just need to be readily available for workforce development. So we work with them very, very closely in delivering our apps through that. So you get both everything that you need from a CRM standpoint and a technology standpoint, combined with all the tools that you all need for workforce and economic development. And so I'm going to pause right here, and I just want to take a moment to introduce the team. So like I said, I am the Workforce Development Account Representative at Launchpad. I've been with the company for a little over 3 years now, and it's been a great time for me. So what I do mostly is I spend a lot of time, reaching out and connecting with you guys, really learning about, a lot of the challenges that you're facing in workforce, whether it's technology-based or not, and then, seeing what can we do to really help streamline those challenges, especially through technology. And like I said earlier, when I'm not, working hard, to help you guys out, strengthen your successes, I'm usually watching a basketball game somewhere. And I'm going to turn it over to one of our co-founders, Melissa Jenkins.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa Jenkins. I am co-founder, VP of Customer Success as well. It's really important for me to ensure that we're implementing the right solution specifically for you. That's my ultimate goal. And so I do manage the technical teams behind the scenes as well as, again, having a lot of conversation with all of you folks. So, to Jeremy's point, I'm not going to go on and on and on, but certainly wanted to thank David Walker here, being a part of our panel today, as well as Rafael Carbajal. Excuse me. So anyhow, they have really been a force working with us, and again, thank you for your participation.
All right, thank you, Melissa.
Sure.
So, really just to summarize, what it is we do at Launchpad. We're really looking at connecting your cities and your counties in a new and innovative way. Through offering platforms and tools for business services, tracking job seekers, strengthening the regional collaboration, and most importantly, making sure everybody has access to real-time data and reports. So first, we have two guest speakers here, as Melissa alluded to, David Walker and Rafael Carbajal. So we're going to start by talking about San Francisco, their jobs portal, and their workforce alignment session. I'm going to quickly introduce you to David, and then I'm going to let David go ahead and talk about the wonderful work that they've done in his city. So David is a leader in workforce development and in San Francisco, and he has over 9 years of experience with innovation and technology. He used to work a lot in the tech industry with Apple and other companies, and then he combined that experience through working with partners like Goodwill, the County of San Mateo, which is another region in Northern California. And he brought all of that together to really make, to really bring some innovative ideas and innovative problem-solving tools to the city of San Francisco to really help transform their workforce development processes. And just a little fun fact about David: when he's not busy working on bringing innovative strategies, he has 2 dogs that he likes to hang out with, Traffic and Lulu, and they're two adorable beagles. He showed me some pictures earlier. So, David, I'll let you go ahead and take over from here.
All right. Thank you, John. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. There we go. We're going to be here. We're going to be excited about being here because we bring the good news. The good news about the next steps in workforce development, the good news in customer CRM platforms, and the wonderful work that Launchpad has done with our 2 great cities. For the city of San Francisco, as the slide indicates, we are the innovative capital of the world. We work very closely with a lot of the high-tech companies. We have a 3.4% unemployment rate, and I'll talk a little bit about that number in a minute. We have 18 agencies delivering workforce services across our city, which is, to be honest, not a big city. San Francisco, as some of you may know, is only 7 miles by 7 miles. So we do a lot of big work in a small area. We have over 150, that number is probably a little bit bigger now, CBOs that we work with to do and to carry out a lot of the workforce that we do in the city of San Francisco. If I can go back to that 3.4 number, and this number is what kind of launched us into looking at how could we use this technology to get those job seekers that are not counted back into the workforce system, making sure that we understand where they are in terms of services, making sure that they know what the city offers and what our CBOs offer. It's a nice small number, it's an exciting number, it's a great number, but it's not exactly the number. And so we started to partner with our different agencies, the 18 agencies within San Francisco, and then also with our CBO partners to really get a true trigger as to what that number was and where those folks that were not a part of that number were at in terms of their job search. As I mentioned, we have 150 CBO agencies that we work for that our office funds. Those folks have the responsibility of doing everything from barrier removal to education to job search to also retention, to making sure that once those folks are in jobs that they stay within those jobs, and then taking them on to the next level and working to make sure that they're not underemployed, because as many of you may know, San Francisco is a very expensive place to live. And we want our job seekers to not only struggle, we don't want our job seekers to struggle in finding work and keeping work, but we want them to be able to strive once they get to that point to be able to live and to stay within the city. So it's a lot of these different mechanisms that make up what we are trying to create in terms of our San Francisco Jobs Portal. So kind of giving you that high level of the idea and where everything kind of came from. The mayor of San Francisco in about 2004-2015 said that we have over 18 workforce development departments that are operating within the city. We fund about $89 million each year to keep those departments going and running. But those departments are not talking to each other. Those departments are not understanding what each other are doing. How can we align to know what this division HSA is doing, what this division, workforce development in economic workforce development is doing, so that we know where the touch points are, where the cross-pollination is, and where the services that are being provided so that the community at large could know what was going on. Our task, the Office of Economic and Workforce Development, which is my division, we took on the task of creating a system in which there's multiple entry points, but a simple tracking mechanism for folks to be able to be kind of monitored through that system, that daisy chain of a system. So no matter where you entered, you would be, it would be tracked so that we would know that you're completed burial removal, that you've completed the education piece, that you sat with this employer, that this employer is looking to hire you, so on and so forth. The difficulty, or one of the major challenges of that, was getting buy-in from our two communities, the employer community and the CBO community. CBOs wanted to make sure that if I'm putting my participants in this, am I going to get credit for the work that I do? No matter what that work is, at the end, if that individual gets a job and they get a job from my co-CBO, am I going to get credit for that and for the work that I did along the way? So that was something that we had to take into consideration. Employers wanted to also know and ask that if I do participate in this, am I going to get folks that when they sit down in front of me, they're going to be ready to go if I offer them a job at the end of that interview? So that was the buy-in that they were asking for. We did a lot of conversations for clarity. We did a lot of question asking. We did a lot of focus groups. We wanted to make sure that when we did it this time, and I say this time because this wasn't our first round at trying to do this, but we wanted to make sure that we did it smart and that we did it in a way in which those who are going to participate was going to get the maximum benefit all the way around our customer base. I think we can go to the next one. That was all right. Okay.
Thank you,
All
David.
right. There we go.
And this is just an example of what, just to give you guys an idea of what San Francisco is working towards. So this is some high-level screenshots of the San Francisco Jobs Portal. Now what the Jobs Portal is, it's San Francisco's way of moving to the next phase. And the next phase for them is really to be able to not only do the work that David suggested and David was speaking on, but to really be able to come in and let employers and job seekers connect with their, connect with their partners and have kind of a hands-off approach, so that way everyone can seamlessly self-serve, self-enter, and self-register, really speeding up that process. So thank you, David, and we're going to now do a quick overview on LA County Regional Business Services, and I'm going to switch now and introduce you really quickly to Rafael Carbajal. Let me make sure I pronounced that right this time, right?
Yes, you sure did.
Thank you, sir.
There will be a question at the end of the...
So just a little bit about Rafael. So Rafael comes from a family of business owners. Rafael has been involved with construction businesses, landscaping businesses, restaurants, butcher shops, you name it, Rafael's done it. Rafael currently oversees all of the LA County business services and professional services, as well as workforce planning projects across the county. And just so you guys can understand the magnitude, I'm going to let Rafael go ahead and explain just how large of an undertaking that is. And Rafael also, I talked to him privately. I think I'm going to have him run our booth next year because Rafael is also a skilled butcher. He knows how to cut up those meats and cut up those steaks really well. So Rafael, you're going to be the exhibitor next year.
Yes, sir.
All right, Rafael, take it away.
So let me paint you a picture of LA County as the behemoth that it is. I'm going to try to compete with San Francisco over here. Let's see. We're the largest workforce region in the nation when we combine ourselves with our very close partners, the city of Los Angeles. We have over 10.1 million residents. 10.1 million. Over 300,000 employers within LA County itself. That 10.1 million residents represent more than 1/4 of the population in California. We have 4,751 square miles of LA County. That's bigger than the combined state of Delaware and Rhode Island. We have 88 cities and 140 unincorporated communities within LA County. Our workforce development area represents 58 of those cities of those 88, and all 140 of the unincorporated communities. So it's a big monster, so how do you really attack and eat an elephant, right? A bite at a time. Hence why in California we try to do things differently. And they decided that, let's throw 7 workforce development boards together in one region. See if you guys know how to play together. So we have 7 workforce boards, including ours. We have 36 county departments that offer county-wide services that see no boundaries between workforce development areas. 12 of those departments offer some type of workforce development component to the services that they deliver. And not to mention all the NGOs, social enterprises, and our economic development partners that offer these services. So how do you communicate and how do you talk? How do you collaborate? How do you try to address all the unique issues that LA County faces with these many people in the same ecosystem? Our department is the Workforce Development, Aging and Community Services Department. We house all of the county's workforce development programs. We also lead the other departments in their workforce development efforts. We have about $35 million in WEO funding. That represents about 45% of our funding. The rest of it is a combination of braided dollars from grants or other programs, including TANF, reentry dollars, and a combination of a couple of things. But as a whole, think about this as a whole, the county itself manages $650 million a year of workforce development and economic development dollars. That's a lot of money. One of the biggest challenges that we have is we have all these entities operating in silos. So how do we break that? So what has everybody been talking about at this conference is data, 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 data. So what's the best way to communicate digital and digital data? So we looked to our Launchpad partners to help us out with some of that. So if we go to the next. So like we mentioned, and on top of that, we work with over 22 community colleges, over 13 adult education consortia,